It's been a busy year for Magic the Gathering this year and Commander in general, really. And looking at my list, there's probably a few commanders that have come out that are just saying a little bit too spicy. So let's start things off with some honourable mentions that didn't quite make my top 3. There's 5 of them, get ready. We've got Voya Jaws of the Conclave, back from Ravnica at the start of the year. We've got Bristly Bill from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. We've got Arabella the Abandoned Doll from the Dustmourn set. And we've also got Tiny Bones the Bauble Burglar from the Foundation set. And last but definitely not least, we've got Storm Force of Nature from the Marvel Secret Lair drop. Now, all of these commanders are very strong in their own right, but the decks and the cards you use in the 99 are what really take these cards over the top. So if you're up against these commanders, I definitely suggest taking a mulligan or two to make sure you've got some removal spells in your hand so you can really put these decks on the back foot. Anyway, on to the top 3. Let's start things off with Alexios. So for 3 and a red, we get a legendary creature, Human Berserker. They're a 4/4, they have trample, they attack each combat if able. They can't be sacrificed, and they can't attack their owner. That'll make sense in just a second. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player gains control of Alexios, untaps it, puts a +1/+1 counter on it, and it gains haste until end of turn. Now, this thing is an absolute nightmare to deal with because it's just going to go around and around and around the board, attacking everybody except its controller. It gets big, it's got trample, so you can't chump block it. Like, this card is just absolutely ridiculous. You know, make sure you've got some removal to deal with it, and don't fall into the trap of trying to use it to your advantage, because I guarantee you the red player will have something in hand that really screws you over. So yeah, Alexios, kill on sight. I guess the only saving grace about this card is it's from Assassin's Creed and nobody bought that set. Next on my list is the infamous Cruel Claw. So for 1 black and a red, we have a legendary creature, Weasel Mercenary, that's a 3/3. They have Menace, and whenever they deal combat damage to a player, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card by discarding a card rather than paying its mana cost. So this deck just generates value on top of value on top of value. It comes down on turn 3. By turn 4, it's attacking if they can't find a way to give it haste, or even casting it earlier on turn 2. Yeah, you've got to make sure you've got 2 blockers. If you don't have 2 blockers, you are taking that 3 commander damage, and then they're going to get some free value out of their library. They're also going to discard a card, and when a black deck discards a card, it's probably because they can get it back. Never mind anything like Madness or anything like that they'd be able to cast. So yeah, this deck just generates a lot of value, and if you don't have a lot of creatures in your deck, you're going to need to remove it quite quickly before their board state gets out of hand. Give the Cruel Claw player too much time to develop, and you are going to pay the price. Kill on sight, please. So it's about that time in the video where I just say thank you very much for watching so far. If you're enjoying yourself, hit that thumbs up. You've got some commanders that you think should be killed on sight? Drop them down in the comments below, and if you want to see more content like this, consider hitting that subscribe button. Anyway, on with the list. And we're on to the big bad raid boss at the end, and it's none other than Maha, it's Feathers Knight. So for 3 black, you get a legendary creature, Elemental Bird, that's a 6/5 with flying and trample. It has ward, discard a card. Creatures your opponents control have base toughness 1. Static effect, everyone, base toughness 1. Oh my god, nothing bad will happen from that, right? So if your deck wins through combat damage and you have a lot of creatures that are your value pieces, then with your opponents playing something like Maha, Feathers Knight, there's a good chance they could play a static effect that reduces all toughness by 1, and then with their commander out, it's just a constant board wipe, so you can never get a board presence. So yeah, you have to literally remove this commander in order for you to play creatures. Yeah. This is one of those decks that just becomes almost oppressive to play against, and if you like that thing and you want to play it or you want to play against it, then go for it. But yeah, you could find yourself in a bit of a situation where the only answer is to scoop, and that's never a good way to end the game. So Maha, Feathers Knights, just counter it. Don't even let it hit the battlefield. And there you have it, my list of commanders that I personally think deserve the title of Kill on Sight. But if you want to play something a little bit more under the radar, a bit more niche, well, check out the video about underrated commanders. I think you might enjoy it. Goodbye for now.